Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome back and welcome to the year-end recap. 2014, in my opinion, has been a very good year for cigars. A lot of good new cigars came out this year. My year-end recap is going to be about new cigars, or the newer cigars. I reviewed a total of 80 cigars over this past 12 months, and the majority of them are new or fairly new to the market. Some things might drift back to last year, but the latter part of last year. And that's the way it'll go, because the cigar calendar year, when they come out at the IPCPR in July, is pretty much July to July. So there's a short window to get everything in from July to the end of a calendar year, and simply I can't do it. I don't have enough time. So today I will be highlighting my top 20. Which is 25%, 20 out of 80. 11 through 20 will be shown in the video with their picture and name, and I will break down a little bit 1 through 10. So you'll see how it goes. Now, I got all cleaned up for this, washed my favorite review shirt. A lot of you have commented on this shirt over the years that I seem to always wear this shirt. It didn't start out that way. It just sort of became the review shirt. This is actually from a friend of mine, Richard Soren, who runs Sorenex equipment. They make very heavy duty workout equipment. He didn't give it to me to wear in the review. It's just I chose it. As a matter of fact, if you look closely, there's Richard right there. So let's get right to it. As I've done in the past, I'm actually smoking my #1 cigar of the year while I do this, but I won't reveal it to the end. So let's start out now. Here is 11 through 20. Now, my top 20 is more about that's the best 20 cigars to me this year. The order is subject to change, but I had to put them in order, so that's what you're hearing here today. 1 through 10 is pretty solid in my opinion. Let's start off with number 10. The 1502 Nicaragua Robusto. Now this cigar comes in this size only. It's put out by Enrique Sanchez and is part of the House of Emilio and Gary Griffith. Now, you are going to hear a lot about the House of Emilio and Gary Griffith. As a matter of fact, in 11 through 20, there were some House of Emilio cigars there. Other brands that 1502 has put out is like the Ruby, Emerald, Black Gold. You might have seen those. It's an all Nicaraguan. The 1502 Nicaragua is a Nicaraguan Puro, all Nicaraguan, and contains tobacco from the 4 growing regions in Nicaragua: Esteli, Jalapa, Condega, and Ometepe. Very good cigar. Number 9. The Ditka 89 Toro. All of the Mike Ditka series that Camacho put out have gotten extremely good ratings from me. I personally think they all are great. And you actually saw one of the others in the last segment, 11 through 20. But in the number 9 slot, the Ditka 89 Toro just had everything for me. I really thought the cigar was great. Had Camacho-esque flavors. Just a winner. Number 8. Ezra Zion Tantrum. This is a cigar that's probably a carryover from 2013, but I just became aware of it this year. Another one of the House of Emilio brands, and this is just a little powerhouse, short little cigar. Now it burns quite a while. It's quite compact, but you can't forget the size. 4.44 by 44. That's the actual size. Another Nicaraguan cigar. Ezra Zion is another company that Gary Griffith has found in Nicaragua and bringing them to the forefront. So a solid number 8 for the year, Ezra Zion Tantrum. Number 7. Yet another cigar from the House of Emilio. The Reunion Aperitivo. Now, I think you saw in the other, the 11 through 20, the Reunion Digestivo, which was the Maduro. This is not. The word aperitivo is Spanish, which roughly translates to a cocktail or other alcoholic beverage before a meal, or with a small appetizer. Now it is sort of a lighter of the two. It's the lighter of the cigars, but it's quite flavorful. A lot of good flavors, and again, predominantly a Nicaraguan cigar. You'll see a lot of Nicaraguan cigars in my year in review this year. Also, that just happened. It just shows you the impact of Nicaragua on the industry. Number 6. The King of Kings Broadleaf. Now this is from a fairly small company. I would call it a boutique company, headquartered in Pompano Beach, Florida. Now they have 2 factories, one in the Dominican and one in Esteli. I believe this cigar was made in Esteli. It is predominantly a Nicaraguan, and just a huge cigar, 6 by 64, but it's box pressed, so it plays off a little smaller. It's more of a rectangular shape in the hand, so you can hold it easier. But it is a big cigar, very flavorful. They actually have been in my year-end reviews, recaps before last year. They did very well, so they are spreading out across the country, getting into more shops. You will hear more about them, and you really should try this cigar, all their cigars, if you get a chance. And now we're down to the top 5. Number 5. The 1875 Romeo y Julieta Bully. To say I was surprised at this cigar is an understatement. Romeo and Julieta, they have tried several different blends here, even recently, but this one really spoke to me. It had a lot of the things that I really like. The sweet orange, citrus, and cedar that I speak so much about, roasted nuts, red and black pepper, and always nice cream notes. It just had everything going for it. Now, these cigars are only available at brick and mortar shops. It uses an Indonesian shade-grown tobacco and Dominican. So not any Nicaraguan tobacco at all, and it made number 5 in my year-end list. So not a guaranteed thing that if you're Nicaraguan, you make great marks in my book. Everybody makes good cigars. I was really glad to get this cigar across the list to review because it was really great. Need to try it and find it, and a great price point. Number 4. Perdomo Double A's 12-year vintage sun-grown Epicure. Coming in at number 11 was the Maduro version. Just barely out of the top 10. On any given day, the way your palate changes, it could easily be in the top 10, possibly the top 5. Perdomo this year with their 12-year vintage double-aged cigars just really shined brightly. Just 3 great cigars. The Connecticut, the Sun-Grown, and the Maduro, all great cigars. In fact, as far as a manufacturer of the year, for me, Perdomo is it. With those 3 additions, they're my manufacturer of the year. No doubt about it. But this cigar, the Sun-Grown, I am a Sun-Grown fan. Have never tried to hide that from anybody. So if it's Nicaraguan and Sun-Grown, it gets a lot of my attention because I do like those cigars typically. These cigars are only available at Perdomo's top accounts in the nation. So you won't find them everywhere, but when you do, you need to try them. Somewhere around $11, 10 and change for the Epicure. These cigars are highlighted because they're bale aged for 10 years and then barrel aged for an additional 2 years in bourbon barrels. Great cigar. Need to try it. That brings us to number 3. The La Patrona Robusto. You could almost expand that to say La Patrona Cigars. This is a brand new cigar from Gady Leon. That's the wife of Jorge Leon. And of course, Jorge is the owner of Miura Cigars. Possibly you've heard of them. Well, when I saw this cigar come around, I thought maybe it would be more of the lighter to medium Nicaraguan type flavors that Jorge had. Since it's his wife, she wanted her own signature cigar. But it's not. The wrapper is a sun-grown Sumatran Ecuador. The binder is Brazil, and the filler is Brazilian, Dominican Republic, Peruvian, and Nicaraguan. So I had one, and I must say, although the Robusto is in the year-end countdown as the number 3 cigar, the Gordo, which I believe is like 6x60, the flavors just pop in that cigar. So I could recommend any of them. And I started to wonder, what makes this cigar so good? So here's the actual box. I bought a box of them, okay? On the back of the box, look who it says, whoops, manufactured it. La Aurora. Not a bad company to be rolling your cigars. So, Gady, congratulations, number 3 cigar of the year. Fantastic, the La Patrona Robusto. Hard to find. We'll seek them out. I did actually find one company. As far as I know, I mean, they're very hard. They are hard to find. But there is a company online, littlecigarbox.com. That's one spot online you can find them. They didn't pay me to say that. It's just the only one I know of you can get them. The only place I know you can get them right now online. So now we're going into the top 2. Now these top 2 are really a case of any given day could flip-flop who could be number 1. I did pin it down according to scores over this year. I let them stay the way they were. So the number 2 cigar for me of the year, here it is. The Ashton Symmetry Bellicoso. This cigar is blended by Carlito Fuente Jr. using tobacco from a Fuente Nicaraguan farm. Many of you didn't know Fuente had tobacco in Nicaragua. They do, and this cigar has it, and it is amazing. This is the first time an Ashton brand cigar has been rolled with Nicaraguan tobacco. For a first-time cigar, it is fantastic. Now, we all know Ashton. They've been around forever. The sun-grown is what I started with. I mean, that's where I knew I loved sun-grown tobacco. But this cigar is amazing. Really must try it. You can refer back to the blog for a full description, but it is well worth every penny. One last award to give before we get to the #1 cigar, the distributor of the year. This is a hands down easy decision. The House of Emilio and Gary Griffith are my distributor of the year, without a doubt. They have 5 cigars in the top 15 of my year in review. Again, Gary Griffith finds some fantastic boutique cigar companies, primarily in Nicaragua and Esteli, that we've never heard of, but he brings them up to the forefront in our attention, and he's bringing some fantastic cigars to the market. So a tip of the hat to Gary Griffith and the House of Emilio, the distributor of the year. And now for my #1 cigar for 2014. The Cohiba Nicaragua En Cristal. This cigar, above all else, just floored me into the difference that Cohiba made in this cigar and their cigars in general. It's the first Cohiba rolled outside of the Dominican Republic. Now, the cigar is slightly misleading. It is called Cohiba Nicaragua, but the wrapper is actually Honduran, and the binder and filler are Nicaraguan. Be that as it may, it's a fantastic cigar. Tons of red pepper, sweet cedar, cinnamon. Just a fantastic cigar. It, for me, stood out so much that it had to be my #1 cigar of the year. So there you have it. There's the top 20. Every cigar that I reviewed, you can see at the end of this video, with the score they achieved and the date that I reviewed it. Feel free to go back to the blog and pull up those reviews if you want to see a more in-depth description and watch the video that is attached to it. I appreciate everyone that watched and the videos this year and read the blog, and here's to looking ahead to a great 2015. And as I said, that's the cigar I've been smoking, the Cohiba Nicaragua. Thank you.